I welcome everybody to this edition, specifically the maiden edition of Family Medicine Department resident documentary. This particularly focused on the famous Oshelieri 7, our new fellows, whom I believe that an interaction with them via this documentary is going to give us a lot of encouragement, particularly those of us coming behind, the present generation and the generation that will still come behind us. So I hope this goes into our archives and serves to encourage every single person that has an interaction in one way or the other with this documentary. I want to appreciate the team that has put this together, and I want to pray that the Lord bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Oshelieri 7 as they tell us about their pathway during residency. Thank you very much, and God bless.
I am Oyewole Abimbola Tolulope. I come from Ibadan. I attended Mary Convent School, Ibadan. Went for my secondary school education as Federal Government Girls College, Oyo, in Oyo State. Then from UI to Lautech, where I had my medical degree. I'm married to Oluboyega Abimbola Oyewole, and we have 2 little princesses. Okay, I think I never really thought about it, but I can remember that in Lautech then, when we take calls in GOP, there's a relationship that the consultants and registrars have with us that we can't find in any other department or any rotation. So that was when I started developing my interest in family medicine. So I'm not an accidental family physician. I thought about it.
That's interesting.
My main focus that I like so much is the health and quality of life of postmenopausal women, which was the topic of my dissertation. Because while going through several books and literatures, I found out that they were underrepresented. And most of the time, when they come with their particular symptoms, we think they are somatizing. So I felt that there is a way where you can, balance the two and make sure that they have a better quality of life. Most studies are more in reproductive age group of women and little or none in menopausal age group. I thought about this long and hard. My first choice, you'll be surprised, is Dr. Adebusoye. Why? At times when you are being, taught properly, you might have this misconception that, why is this man like this? But it was when I passed that I knew that it was for my own good. He will give me ultimatums, he will call me any time of the day. Oh, let's see me tomorrow. You must be ready by then, and things like that. So I learned a lot from him, that if you want to impact positively on somebody, you don't have to be their friends. They may not like what you say at times, but if it's something that will, make them grow, then do it. But before I thought about him, I thought of Dr. Musoro. But Dr. Adebusoye for lunch in my house. One thing I know that can make your residency training program, balanced, is having a good social network support. Not necessarily from your husband or your children, but members of the family. Like in my household were like 10 people there with my 2 girls. And so I had people on ground to take care of certain aspects of what could have, affected my training. But as I was at the same time, you need to strike a balance such that one doesn't affect the other. And to get that balance is the main thing. So for you to have a seamlessly, free residency training program, I think this home support is of utmost importance. Of course I did many times. Why? You see, many of us know their hair that I did my part 1 3 times. I did 3 times. I did West Africa 3 times. National 4 times. So I know what failure tastes like. And it gets to you when maybe you enter a room and those of us that passed, maybe everybody is gisting, and then you come in and everybody goes quiet, or they start leaving one by one. It used to get to me by then, and I was always telling Aluta that I'm not doing it again. It was like, I know you can do it. So when all those failures, they really got to me, because it made me to lose my self-confidence. Like straight A1, 9A1, 365 in JAM. I know I'm brilliant, but something didn't really sit right. So I lost my self-confidence. But I was brought up by, trainers, mentors, friends that stood by me. So that, consultation with friends, family, especially my husband, he said, I know you. You're not a quitter. You will pass this thing. And when I passed in 2015, I was like, I wanted to go and do Thanksgiving, because by then I thought I didn't know anything again. But thankfully, I passed both national and West Africa. Yes. But don't do it more than once. I had my own issues. I wouldn't advise anybody, be focused. You can do it once, really.
Yeah.
No, I'm a bit laid back and I have low threshold for a busy life.
All right.
One that comes to mind is the very first one that comes to mind is I wasn't always, I wanted to be everywhere at the same time, and so somehow I broke down myself. And before I got the advice of my mega mentor is Aluta, the Yoruba engineer, he said, Bimbo, need láti máa kàwé tó pọ̀ bẹ́yẹn, kọ̀ọ̀kan 1 hour or 2 hours in a day, kó tí wà settled. You go need doing yẹn lọ. But I didn't take that advice. So it was when I fell into all soup that I realized that advice it could have made me pass earlier. Because really I felt like, my winner. I don't read much, and you get it. So, but medical school, residency training, it's not like that. You have to consistently read. So that was one thing I regretted, that it took me a bit late before I took his advice. Yeah, that one is incontestable. There are like 10 of them, but they are telling me we were out of time anyway. But I will mention many of them. My highest points was when I passed this part 2. I was telling my people around me that, are you saying I'm a consultant? Are you saying I've passed? I had to get home and pinch myself. I want to say, Goyega, please wake me up on my journey. That's the first. Then the second is, as family physicians, most especially, when you see your impact in the health and other social networks of your patient, that is the highest point. Like, let me give you an example. Don't worry, I just said 3. This woman came to see me from Ikire. She's obviously not rich. So I don't know what I did, but I shall know that I talked to her the way I would anybody. So the following week, when she now had an appointment, she just entered the consulting room, female, I like female sorting, with one bag of dodokiri. This is a woman that I know that she has to source for money to come to the hospital. And I was like, Mama, the match she yanu, the match she yanu, the mommy, oh, balawo me, but go and go sit taxi. And I came out and I saw a bunch of plantain. He said, Ori ni mo fi ruwo inu UCH. Ori mi asure fun e. Because I couldn't really realize what I did, but that woman, she wasn't able to feed herself well. But she felt that, let me give this doctor something. It's like a rush. Those are high moments when spending almost a decade in residency, not almost though, spending a decade in presidency makes it all worth it. I don't even know where I see myself in 1 year from now. I will have to go and think about that question. Me, I like jollof, so I don't want to anything that will stress me. When some people came to greet me in my house and they were like, Doctor, you do national. My husband started shouting from the kitchen. National package that of put fast in you. Don't let's say I don't. You don't want to hear national. Anything you want to do after this exam will be online courses. My first advice is read. It's never too early to start reading. See, Money, can you hear me? It's never too late or too early to start reading. If you read consistently, you reach for the stars. And one other thing is, Yorubas will say it's easy to break one broomstick, but difficult to bend the whole bunch. Be there for yourselves. People were there for me. I know people that came to my house every day. She will come to my house every day, and it's his B. You need people around you. You need each other. Don't hoard stuff from each other. If you see something that will be beneficial to your mates, to your group, to your cohorts, please give them. And then teach. The Yoruba engineer will always tell me that, Bimbo, that's the way he talks to me. Bimbo, I want more share discussion me in there anyway. So when you are teaching people, you are not just teaching them, you are also learning back. You get? So teach people the way you have been taught. Give back what you have inherited. Don't be selfish and keep it all to yourself. So be there for each other. Then one last one which is crucial is treat every patient as if they are a member of your family. Because there are times when the rigors of work and all, you'll be tired and you may give less than you are supposed to give to a patient. That usually boomerangs. I'm sorry, one more example. I was on the floor that day. The floor, we're not so many now. You've seen 8 new cases, 14 follow-ups, you are having 2 emergencies and all. And so at around 3 p.m, this old man comes in with the wife and was like, wherever. It was like all his whole body is just paining him. And I was hungry and tired. I was like, Baba, my Lord, she blood film at full blood cancer. Result. Then Dr. Olawonyiwale was like, sis me, hey, the Jako ECG. Where you sharp to Barandu. So she wrote that ECG for me for that man. And I think what saved me again that day was that when they got up to do the ECG, they met Dr. Ajay. And the man had an MI. They were not specific. So that comes to mind of, even when you are tired, please give your best. And they admitted him in ICU. You didn't spend 48 hours, he died. So how would I have forgiven myself if I could have, at least prolonged his stay with his loved ones for 48 hours, no matter how small. So even when you are tired, give your best. It will always come right. It is a thing that becomes part of you. Even when you are tired, you'll be like me. You do it constantly and it stays with you. Really, I'm serious.
My name is Dr. Adegboyega Alao. I'm from Osun State, Inisha to be precise, in Osun State. My undergraduate medical school was at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. My housemanship was at University College Hospital, Ibadan, and then the residency training at the same institution, University College Hospital, Ibadan. Okay. After medical school, and then of course after the housemanship, I discovered that I had interest in almost all the specialty. So at the point I got confused about what specialty, to be precise, to go for. So I discovered that family medicine would fit into what I have interest in. And then there's this usual saying that to a man who is holding an hammer, everything looks like a nail. But what if a man is holding a hammer, a screwdriver, and maybe a wrench? The person will be able to solve more problems than someone who's just holding an hammer. Now, this is not to say deep expertise is bad, but in the present world, the person who is able to solve more problems will be in better position to navigate the uncertainties in the present world. So I feel I'm in a very good specialty. Yeah. Okay. I have two areas of interest as a family physician. First is the travel health, and then the occupational health, occupational medicine. I love traveling, so I know there are some health issues that are related to traveling. So I love travel health. Same thing, occupational medicine, and my interest in occupational medicine also prompted my dissertation topic for my fellowship examination. So those are the two areas I have keen interest about: travel health and occupational health. Okay, well, I must confess it's been challenging. Residency training has taken me away from home and family. It has taken me away from them most of the times during the residency training. And I must commend my wife and my entire family for being very understanding throughout the period of the residency program. So I would say it's been quite challenging. Okay, my interest in politics has not extended beyond hierarchy politics. I'm really not the political type, and the person that really let me say gingered my interest in politics is my good friend and colleague, Dr. Ibishola Babalola, and it has not been more than that. I've never contested for any post. I'm just a big fan of his. So I don't know, never can tell. I may not. Thank you.
Did you?
No. There was never a time I felt like quitting residency training. I didn't have any reason to. I chose to enroll in the program. So there were challenges in the residency program, but those challenges were not enough for me to say I want to call it a quit. No, I had none. No side hustle. It was just the residency program. No regrets whatsoever. No, no regrets. Thank you. Okay, my best moments. Well, yes, the moment I realized that I passed my part one, and of course when I passed part two. So the two highest moments of the residency program. I was very happy at both times. Well, yes, as a chief resident, there were a lot of responsibilities that were associated with that role as a chief resident. Well, yes, there were high and low moments, but I would say they were all worthwhile. There were challenging moments, I would say, yes. But like I said, it's worth the while. It was an experience, and I learned a lot from that role. Okay, 5-10 years from now. Okay, I know I'll be a great family physician. I would be much better than this, yes. I may still be around in the country, and I may not. I may be outside the country as well, but God knows best. The main advice I will give to the residents coming behind would be mainly to stay focused in the residency program. Yes, there will be some distractions, quite a number of challenges to surmount, but once you stay focused, I'm sure it will be a successful one. So stay focused. That's the thing. Yes, to everyone, the party message is I love you all. It's been quite an experience having to work with everyone, to learn from my trainers, to work with colleagues, both senior and junior colleagues, and even my contemporaries. It's been quite an experience with you, and I love everyone. Thank you.
My name is Temitope Adionojobi. I was born over 3 decades ago. I'm from Ibadan in Oyo State. I'm married to a loving husband, and I have 2 kids. After my housemanship, I realized that I actually didn't have a particular flair for any of the specialties in medicine. I just wanted to explore every opportunity I had. So at that point, I thought about it, that what kind of specialty would be able to give me that kind of thing that I really wanted. And family medicine just dropped in my mind. So that's why I chose family medicine. Oh, well, I actually love taking care of women and adolescents. Yeah, that's my flair. I'll be Dr. K.M. Kuti, but she's very selfless, and I owe her so much.
Okay, why?
Yeah, in the course of my training, at some point when I had challenges, I went to meet her. She was not really particular about being my supervisor, but she just had that natural thing to want to help, and I find that really amazing. That's another tough one. It's not been easy. I had to make a lot of sacrifices, but thankfully, I had a very supportive structure. My husband, my parents, my friends. I couldn't have asked for a better support system.
How did you?
Well, it's all about interest. It was something I actually took an interest in, and I decided that if it was what's being done, then it would be done very well. So that was my drive. And like I said earlier, the support system was there. So I could actually do all those extracurricular activities while my clinical duties did not suffer. I served for 3 years in the Doctors Welfare Society. I was one time the assistant gen sec, and I was the FinSec for 2 executive years. Then apart from that, I am also the current Young Doctors Forum coordinator, an arm of M1. Well, I never got to that point in the course of my training. No, I did not. Unfortunately. Well, I have no regrets because I think that whatever happens in life helps to define who we are today. So whatever circumstances, whatever events, whatever situations have all come together to make me who I am today. So I have no regrets, and I'm thankful to God for everything. Well, my best moment during my training, that's something that I've actually not given a thought before. But I could say when I passed my Part 1 national exam, because I was actually disqualified for my first attempt at the Part 1 West African College of Physicians examination. So when I passed Part 1 national, well, I knew it was still God's blessing. It was a way of compensating me. Well, the only thing that is constant in life is change. So I'm not afraid of any change. I'm not afraid of leaving the system, because I know that the Lord that has brought me thus far will not leave me at this point, and will take me further. Well, I see myself doing what I love doing, being a family physician, perhaps, maybe in a senior client, being a caring mother that I've always wanted to be, because I had some challenges while doing residency, and being a good wife. Yeah. Well, for the residents, I would say, if you can dream it, you can live it, and you can achieve it. Well, at this point, now you are calling for emotions. I really want to appreciate everybody that I've worked with, my seniors, my contemporaries, my juniors. It's been one big family, and without you, I can say that there wouldn't have been me, and I will say that I will miss everybody, and I love you all.
I am Fumlola Kende Koya. I'm a set of twin. I am in my 30s. I'm single. I hail from Ogun State, Southwest Nigeria. I'm a family physician. My hobbies, I enjoy reading. I love to listen to music. I watch movies a lot, and I enjoy traveling. Well, after medical school, I wanted to be a pediatrician. So I decided that I'll go and meet the HOD of pediatrics and introduce myself. But unfortunately for me, he had a meeting and he wasn't in the office. So I went for house job, and then I enjoyed my surgery posting. I enjoyed internal medicine. So I realized that I needed a specialty where I could practice everything, practice pediatrics, practice surgery, practice internal medicine. So I decided that it would be family medicine. Unfortunately for me, when I served in Sokoto, I served in the general outpatient department, and I realized that it was a very interesting specialty. It gave me time to do other things, and so I found myself in family medicine. For me, I would say I like travel medicine because I love to travel. It's one of my hobbies. And I would say health promotion, lifestyle medicine. I just found out that most of my cases had a lot of lifestyle in it, and I didn't plan it intentionally. It just happened. So I think it should be one of my area of interests. All right. Okay. For male, I would say Dr. Bodunde. Of all the consultants, he's the one I know the least, so it would be good to get to know him better. Over a nice meal. And for female, I'll say Dr. Ilori. She looks like a fun-loving person, so it would be a fun time having lunch with her. Funny enough, Dr. Ladipo, I actually prayed for her and I got her as a mentor. And she's a lovely person, very understanding, motherly. I'm grateful that I had her as a mentor. Just church activities. My life was kind of like a triangle. I didn't do other things. I just focused on my medicine career or residency program, and church activities and family in terms of my siblings and parents. So I didn't do anything outside. I didn't do business. I didn't do politics. Just medicine. Mountain climbing. I'd like to do other things. Maybe try my hands on business. I've never really seen myself as a business person. Maybe do partnerships and all that. Maybe try to do that, or go into modeling or something. I once did modeling before medical school, during medical school there, but it's a very competitive part of industry, and so you have to have a good agent. I didn't have a good agent, so it was not easy getting gigs and all, but I did a calendar once. Yeah, I actually wanted to leave residency after part 1, pre-part 2, because I didn't know what I was doing for pre-part 2. Part 1 is just about clinical part, OSCE stuff, but part 2 is not really about stuff. It was about a particular field of medicine I wasn't familiar with. I wasn't familiar with research, and so at a particular point I had high blood pressure because I was worried about what to do. And then I had supervisors who would say the way it is. It was a particular time when I was preparing for my proposal. One of my supervisors said, "What you've done is not different from what a medical student has done." And I felt bad because I had left medical school several years ago. I couldn't imagine myself being compared to someone like that. So at that point, I actually wanted to leave. And I tried other options, which, I don't know, God was merciful. I did well in those options. So it was as if I was being encouraged to actually leave. But I had friends that told me, and senior colleagues that told me, you must always finish whatever you start. So I decided that I would finish what I had started and then explore other options. Well, I would have loved to be in a center where you get to do residency in 3 years or 4 years, and then get to do other things, maybe do master's, PhD, or other things. Not stay as long as I did in residency. But overall, I thank God. I met good people. I learned a lot of things in the process of the residency program. So, no regrets. First was when I passed part 1 and also got an award for passing national part 1. I didn't think I would get an award. I just enjoyed the exam. In fact, that was an exam that I can say I actually enjoyed writing, and God rewarded me with an award, an excellence award. And then passing part 2 was another moment for me. And then the hangouts we had at Agodi Gardens was another fun time for me. It was an opportunity to let loose and interact and mingle with people. Not really. It just brings me back to after house job when I was looking for residency program and I had to apply to so many places, but I'm not afraid. It's a phase and everyone is supposed to go through phases. So hopefully I know that there's some nice job waiting for me somewhere, and it's an opportunity to do something different in a different climate, different environment. So no, I'm not in any way. Well, I see myself married with kids. In terms of my career, I see myself doing fine as a family physician and doing other interesting things. My social life, I see myself going out more and interacting better with people. Basically, that's what I see myself doing in 5 years. That's it. I don't have any screening tool that has been validated. However, of course, I would prefer a person that is a Christian, that has values and goals that are similar to mine. Of course, the TDH is there, and somebody that I can flow with, somebody that understands me and I understand as well, and we're ready to take this life, because marriage is a journey. We're ready to take the journey together. 2 of us against the world. I would like to say residency, it's an opportunity to meet people, so network as best as you can when you go for your postings. Be focused because it's time bound. You're not going to be here forever. I was here 2013 and I'm about to exit the program. So it's a time that you should get to meet people, get to do things. Don't just be all about medicine. Try and do some other things. Be adventurous. But of course, be focused. And try as much as possible to get mentors that will guide you, and think before you make decisions, because decisions, they can make or mar you.
I'm Dr. Mrs. Odekunle. My first name is Ido. I'm married to Dr. Odekunle Temitope, and we're blessed with 3 children. I'm a family physician, and that's all for now. Family medicine was a specialty I didn't know much about until I had an opportunity of doing my NYSC here in GOPD department, family medicine department, UCH. So it exposed me to what family medicine was, and I got interested in the fact that you had everything in one place. You could be a surgeon, be a physician, be a pediatrician, and be a gynecologist, all in your one person, a family physician. So I got interested and I went for it. Maternal and child health. I think the only other thing I would have done and enjoyed if I didn't do family medicine would have been ONG, because I love maternal health. As an undergraduate, it was also my best subject, so my best subject. So I think maternal and child health. A lot.
Yes.
It was a lot, but God was faithful. I started out, I had my first daughter 1 week into residency. We resumed 1st of July and I had her 7th of July 2013. So I was having quite a lot of challenges at the same time, being a new resident and being a new mom. It was quite challenging. But God used my mom. She stayed with me all through. She was there to assist me anytime I felt there was tension or I couldn't cope. I would call her and she would be around. She was at my service. I don't want to say thank God my dad had died, because it would have been difficult for her to do both. But since my dad was late already, so I had her anytime I needed her. And I enjoyed her support. I didn't really do much of extracurricular activities aside residency and homekeeping. That was my extracurricular activity, homekeeping, taking care of the children, taking care of my husband. No, I don't have any regrets. Thank God I came this way. I thank God that God brought me this far. I don't have regrets. Yes, I did. At the very beginning, actually. Like I said earlier, I was being a new mom and being a new resident at the same time, so it was challenging. And I remember a particular incident actually that made me feel like quitting. The first set of lectures we have when we resumed the PCCM lecture, I remember clearly, I'm sure my colleagues too will remember, were to have one at the geriatric center with one of the consultants there. Unfortunately, it had rained that morning. I was with my daughter and my mom. At that time, I was still trying to find out if she could. I had not settled whether she was going to be coming to work with me or she would stay home with grandma, and we came together that morning. So I had to find a convenient point to park and get in for the lectures first before I sort them out. And unfortunately, I was late for the lecture. When I got in, I was asked why I was late. I said I was sorry. Then we had the lecture. Later that day, one of the consultants, I won't want to mention names, called me and said my mentor had reported me that, and if I don't sit up with residency, she was going to recommend me for dismissal. And I didn't know what that meant. I was afraid. Dismissal at this stage? How many months have I spent? So as I walked down from geriatrics back to the department to carry my bag, I was weeping because I felt, okay, so is this how it's going to end, this residency of a thing? Am I actually going to be dismissed? But I thank God for that day. I thank God for Dr. MMA Ladipo. She saw me and she saw that I was weeping. So she called me. And she asked what went wrong. I explained everything to her, that I was just told my mentor was considering recommending me for dismissal. And she said, no, it's not possible. And you don't cry here. It's adult education. It's postgraduate training. You don't cry. And I think that was all. That was the last time I cried about residency. There was nothing anybody did to me or was going to say that made me feel you could get me out of this residency or you could make me cry. I think that toughened my skin, and residency went smoothly. Eventually, I not only have that, like I said, not just that one. I had 2 others in the course of residency, and in these 7 years, I had 3 children, and still finished residency by the mercies of God without any scars, without having to write an exam twice, without having to repeat a posting, without having. I don't think I got a query. I don't think so. So eventually, residency went well. About a year ago, my younger brother introduced me to partnership business, how they invest and earn profits. So I started that just barely a year, and it's been interesting. I've been able to get interest over my money with time. But that came in very lately, just a year ago. The best of the best. My best moments were passing part 1, West Africa, passing part 1 national, and by the mercies of God, passing part 2. No, I'm not. That question would have made me to sing, but because of my voice, I would not. There's a song that says, everything about tomorrow, I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know he's holding my hand. He led me here, he's leading me to other places. So there's no reason to be afraid. In the next 5 to 10 years, I see myself a better settled mom. These 7 years, I was really not a settled one, raising children and doing residency. I wasn't too much around for my children because of the demands of residency. Post-residency, I want to be closer to them. I want to be there every time. Not grandma, not somebody else doing it. I want to do everything for them. So in the next 5 years, I hope to be doing that better. And I also, of course, still remain in my husband's house and working wherever God would have led me and living wherever He would have led us. For the current residents, stay focused. Residency is worthwhile, and if you believe in it, pursue it and finish it. If God leads you in other direction, please follow. And while doing residency, I wouldn't advise that you let go of other aspects of your life. You could do everything together with God's grace, because leaving out other parts leaves some gray area. Even when you have gotten the fellowship, it's like you're backwards in other places. So if you can, with God's help, do everything you want to do, everything you should be doing. I don't think there's any reason to suspend an aspect of your life for the sake of doing residency. God is faithful, and He remains the same, ever faithful. So hold on to God.